All right, we're going to go ahead and try and get this mold out of this port here. See if we can do it without tearing it up. It's all nice and dried there. Feels like it might be separated a little bit, so our little grease trick worked, hopefully. Let me pop this valve out of here. We'll see if we can push this thing out without destroying the mold. Maybe. See if our valve comes out. Yep. Valve came out easy enough. Looks like some of our silicone didn't quite dry correctly down in the bowl here, but that's okay. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. Still, maybe I didn't have it mixed well enough. Who knows? No, it's just the grease. Let me do a little digging around in here. Make sure it's separated. Make sure we're separated across all the way around the port here. Yeah, it feels like we got part of it up there. Let me go in this side over here. Main part you're worried about right here is where the sharp edges were on the inside of the port on the floor here. There's 2 or 3 sharp edges. So I think we're going to try and pry and push on it at the same time. Trying to get it around this bend here. Feels like it's moving slightly. Trying to get it out in one piece so I don't have to split it in two and do it like that, but I might have to. We'll find out here in a minute if we can actually get it out of here or not. I think I might have to split it down here. Let me grab my X-Acto knife. All right, I think I got it moving a little bit. Made a split down the middle of it on around the guide. See if we can get it to come out as one big chunk. Yeah, we got it mostly intact there. Only tore it a little bit. But we did get it out. That's our mold right there. So we did tear, that's around where the God boss is right there. And I'm going to try and clean this thing up a little bit. Might split it down the middle so we can actually see it better. But right here, in this area right here, is where the choke point is. It's flat. You're not going to be able to see that. Well, yeah, you can a little bit. It's flat right across here. I mean, like flat, flat. So it goes in. There's an angle right about here. Then there's an angle right here. And what we're going to try and do is fill this area in right here in the port itself with a little bit of epoxy to raise it up because we want more of a radius. We want more of a radius right in this area here. So it actually needs to go like this kind of like that. Nice rounded edge up here instead of a sharper angle right there. So now you have a visual idea of what I was talking about where it's flat. Like right in here. I mean, you can see that's where it's flattened out right there. And then that needs to be port ratched right there where this goes in, and the port neck's down here, smaller. We'll transition this into this over here. And I'll tell the story that I worked with a guy that these days, this was 40 something years ago, I worked with a guy that he'd be a HR nightmare pretty much these days. We didn't have HR back then. But this just reminded me, he made a thing, rather big thing, probably about 1.5 feet long. That was out of old tubes of silicone. It had clear silicone, orange silicone, and red silicone, black silicone. And he made this thing, very lifelike, very artistic guy. And I mean, had veins in it and everything. And he'd take this thing around the shop and just kind of, somebody be working on something, he just kind of, they'd be working hunched over, and he'd just kind of drape it over their shoulder there. And they'd turn and look at it and like, oh, geez, what the hell. But guy goes into, had a lady working in the, I want to say she was a warranty clerk or something like that. She paperwork, not a secretary, but she'd do like warranty claims, I think, was what she did. Big old girl. I mean, big. Funny girl. And he goes in the office there, and he's like, hey, watch this. So he goes in the office one time, and I'll have to show you this. He goes in the office one time with this thing hanging out of his drawers there. I mean, just hanging down, and kind of walks up to the desk, and she just looks through her glasses up at him and sees this thing and just starts laughing and goes, oh my God, what is that thing? And she's just yucking it up. I mean, just laughing like crazy. Knows it's fake. I'm sure she probably heard about it. And, being a guy, everybody's like, hey, it's funny. But this here just reminded me of that. Guy was pretty talented, just another mechanic I worked with. When I worked at a Ford dealer, geez, 40 couple something years ago. He could do, he was an older guy, probably at least 20 years older than I was at the time. He could do really good at painting flames. He had like a 30, I want to say it was a 34 Ford Roadster flame job. Neat car. But he'd do those. He did a couple, I think one of the guys' work had like a 50 Ford. He did the flames on that thing. Perfect. I mean, the car wasn't great, but the flame job was good because they'd start off like a black into a blue, or black into purple into a blue, into red, yellow, orange, or whatever sequence it was, on top of black paint. So good looking car, and he'd do that stuff freehand. It's not like he'd tape it out, but he ain't got no pattern. He's just kind of, take his tape and do it by hand however he wants to, and look at it and then start spraying. And not even a body guy, just a regular mechanic. Just happened to be good at painting stuff like that. Probably couldn't do overall paint jobs very well, but very good at airbrush work. I can't do that at all. Well, I say that. I've never actually done it. I don't think I have the patience for it. I said that, but I'm probably going to try it here before too long, just to see how I do at it. Anyway, that's our port there. You can see we got some restrictions there. Kind of comes in, next down right here, and then widens out there. And then it's kind of flat across this surface here. So looks like we're going to try and, well, I'll put the epoxy in there first to see how it goes, but probably going to have to widen it a little bit down in the bowl there, widen it over here at the bowl, so it kind of angles more that way, around where the guide boss goes. And I definitely need to straighten this out where it kind of comes in and necks down right there where the port goes in. Guide boss isn't too obtrusive there, and really don't like messing much around with the guide boss goes. If you got leftover silicone in a tube or something, or just use this big tube of silicone. You can use that too. I used this 2-part because wanted to try it out, and it actually worked pretty good. Don't have no air bubbles in here, no big holes around it. I didn't get much down in the seat area there. I guess I didn't had a big air bubble there, air pocket or something. Nah, probably not. It did take the shape of the valve somewhat. Just didn't set up real good down here on that end. It doesn't feel like it anyway. But that's it. I'm gonna probably get started on these this weekend. Probably. I think it's Wednesday now. I got stuff to do tomorrow and Friday, and I think I got all weekend to work on this stuff because I think my wife has to work. She's working all weekend again, so. And then the next week, I'm going to a bike show on the 4th, I think, up there in Raleigh. It's more like, I don't know what kind of bike show it is. We're going to check it out. Art Moto Fest, they're having it at, I still call it Ray Price Harley Davidson, even though it's Tobacco Road Harley Davidson, because Ray Price passed away a few years ago. And his wife sold the dealership because they were both elderly. Great people, though. But we're going to go check that bike show out and see. It's kind of I don't know. It's not really a Harley show. I guess it is kind of sort of going to be since it's at a Harley dealer, but it's like I don't know. I don't want to call it just a cafe racer show. We'll just say motorcycle show in general that they're having up there, which ought to be good. I'll try and get some footage of that. But I think that's about it for that. Like I said, I'll get started on cleaning them up and getting some epoxy in there because that epoxy is going to take a couple of days to cure as well. So I might do that this afternoon while it's still hot outside. It cools off, you think it's going to be cool, and we come in there and every year it's the same thing. It cools off a little bit in September, and then it's back up in the 90s now in the afternoon. And then it's supposed to rain, I think, tonight, tomorrow, and Friday, Saturday, maybe, something like that. Anyway, that's enough. I'm just rambling, so check that out. If you want to do a port mold so you can see what's actually. And the only reason I did this was so I could show you guys that the shape of that port, because I do have my camera, but I can't really. I'm not smart enough to be able to use it. My little endoscope camera. I get confused sometimes on the software there, as far as what I'm when I go to download it, it doesn't download, or it does some other crazy stuff. Basically, I end up losing the picture. All right, you guys have a good week, and I'll be on to something else here before too long, shortly, on the porch anyway. You guys take care. Have a great week, and thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching. Everybody take care.